Good morning, everyone. So the second problem on the Bode plot is here. Now read the problem. The sketch the Bode plot for the given open loop transfer function and find the phase margin and gain margin. So we need to plot the Bode plot for the given open loop transfer function, which is g of s is equal to 75 into 1 plus 0.2 s by s into s square plus 16s plus 100. And also we need to find the phase margin and gain margin. We have to calculate the phase margin and gain margin with the help of Bode plot. So while doing the Bode plots, the first step is we need to convert the S domain function into j omega. Means we need to convert S domain into the frequency domain. So how we can do it? Just simply substitute j omega in the place of S. Okay, so in the place of S, substitute j omega, then you will get the expression for j omega. G of j omega is equal to 0.75 into 1 plus 0.2 j omega, because 0.2 s is there, so you have to substitute j omega in the place of s, by s into, that means j omega into s square plus 16s plus 100. Now this 16s plus 100 is simplified here. You can see here the simplification is done here by taking the 100 as common. In the numerator we are having 75, so take the 100 as common, and 75 by 100 we will get 0.75. So 0.75 into 1 plus 0.2 by s into, now you can see 100 by 100 is 1, right? So 1 plus, now you can see s square term, the s square term coefficient is s square by 100, right? So s square by 100 means 0.01 s square. Similarly here 16s by 100, that means 0.16 into s. So in the place of s you substitute j omega here, so 0.01 into j omega whole square and 0.16 into j omega here. Of course this is a quadratic function, this denominator not in the form of factorization, so this is a quadratic function, so we must complete the project in the same manner. We have to complete the problem. So you can see here it is j omega whole square, so j square is nothing but -1. So that's why the simplified version for this equation is 1 minus 0.01 omega square. Here the j square is written as minus here, -1, because j square is nothing but -1, right? So it is simplified like this. However, this is a second order quadratic equation. If you compare this equation with our original second order form, we can calculate zeta value and omega n value. So omega n value and zeta value, we can compare the coefficients and we can calculate omega and zeta for the given quadratic equation. Okay, right. So the step one is we have to replace this s term with j omega term. So this will be our open loop transfer function with j omega terms. This is our first step. Now, second step is we have to construct a table for calculating the magnitude plots, right? So for constructing the table, we have 4 columns in the table. First column is term, second column is corner frequency, third column is a slope, and fourth column is change in slope. Okay, so here look at the terms. You can see 1 plus j 0.2 omega and 0.75 by j omega. This is also one of the term because j omega is there, and 1 minus 0.01 omega square plus j into 0.16 omega. So we have to take this entire quadratic term. We cannot split this now. If the given problem doesn't have the factorization, if he gives the second order equation directly, we will consider the second order equation only as a single term. So totally we are having three terms. One is 0.75 by j omega, second one is 1 plus j 0.2 omega, and third one is 1 by 1 minus 0.01 omega square plus j into 0.16 omega. So three terms are there. So take the first term. However, the terms arrangement must be based on the corner frequency levels. So that's why we have to calculate the corner frequencies. So we know how to calculate the corner frequency. In order to calculate the corner frequency, the terms must be in the format of 1 plus ST format. 1 plus ST format in the where here the t is the time constant. So the coefficient of s is a t here. So we will consider the coefficient of s and we will write the corner frequencies. So you can see here, here we are having three terms. The first term, in the first term, there is no 1 plus st format. That's why we won't get any corner frequency for this term. That's why the corner frequency of this term is nothing. So that's why a blank is kept. And for the second term, this is the term which is present in the numerator, that is 1 plus j 0.2 omega. So here the coefficient of s is 0.2. So the corner frequency will be 1 by 0.2 because we know the general relation between frequency and time. So here the coefficient is in terms of time. So frequency will be 1 by time. So 1 by 0.2. 1 by 0.2 is nothing but 5. So the corner frequency 1 will be 5 radians per second. Similarly, the second corner frequency will be calculated by using this term. However, the corner frequency can be calculated or can be taken directly from this term. The coefficient, you can see here the coefficient. From that coefficient, we can write the corner frequency as 10 radians per second. So we are having two corner frequencies, and for this first term, we don't have any corner frequency because it is not in the format of 1 plus st. Okay, right. So the second column, we have to fill the second column with these corner frequencies, and that too in the ascending order. That's why the first term don't have the corner frequency. The second term 5 radians per second, third term 10 radians per second. So we have to keep these terms based on the corner frequency ascending order. Now coming to the third column, you can see the slope, and this slope can be calculated based on the j omega term. If omega is in the numerator, then we will get the positive. If omega is in the denominator, then we will get the negative sign. So you can see for this term, the omega is in the denominator. That's why keep negative, right? Based on the omega power, we can write the slope. If the omega power is 1, if omega power is 1, then the slope is 20. If omega power is 2, that means if omega square is there, then the slope will be 40. For omega cube, it is 60. Like that, we have to write the slopes. So for the first term, the omega is in the denominator, so keep minus, and this is omega power 1. That's why 20 will be the slope. For the second term, you can see second term is in the numerator. The omega is in the numerator, so keep plus here, and the omega power of the second term is only 1. That's why 20. It is in the numerator plus, and the power is 1. That's why 20. And for the third term, you can see the maximum omega here is omega square. Here the maximum omega is Omega square. So that's why omega square, that is in the denominator. The omega square is in the denominator. Denominator means minus. So omega power is 2. 2 means we will write 2 into 20, that is 40. So this is how we can complete the slope column. And the fourth one is change in slope. So this change in slope can be done by combining two slopes, means present slope and previous slope. For the first term, for each and every problem, for the first term, we won't get any change in slope value because this is the first term. We don't have any previous values. In order to calculate the change in slope, we have to know the previous value also. But for the first term, there is no possibility of getting previous value. So that's why for each and every problem, the change in slope for the first term is nothing. And for the second term, to calculate the change in slope, simply you take these two. So the present slope is 20 and the previous slope is minus 20. So minus 20 and plus 20, we will get 0 is the change in slope. Right? And next, for the third term slope is minus 40. And the previous change in slope is 0. The result of a previous change in slope is 0. So this 0 and minus 40, 0 minus 40, we will get minus 40 as the change in slope. So the fourth column will be calculated in this manner. You can see the arrow directions clearly so that you can clearly understand how it is calculated, the change in slope, how it is calculated. So this is second step, determining the corner frequencies and calculating the stable one. So coming to the third step, we need to consider two more frequencies. One is lower frequency omega L, and the second frequency is a higher frequency, which is omega H. So omega L and omega H. So omega L value can be chosen such that the value of this omega L will be very, very low when compared with all the corner frequencies. You can see the corner frequencies are 5 and 10 radians per second. So we have to consider the omega value below 5. And similarly, omega H as above the corner frequencies. That means the maximum corner frequency value is 10. So we have to consider above 10. Any of the value above 10. See, some people may consider 50 radians per second. No problem. Here also, some people may consider 1 radian per second. No problem. That is your choice. Considering a lower and higher omega values, omega frequencies is your choice. Because for these values also, we will calculate the magnitudes. So these values will help us to plot the magnitude plots also. You can take any value, the plot will be the same. The plot will be the same. Okay, right. So we have considered omega L and omega H as 0.2 and 20 radians per second respectively. Now we need to calculate the magnitudes for the magnitude plot. So in order to determine the magnitudes, first two omega values will have a formula, that is 20 log k, where k is this term. K is this term, the term which doesn't have any corner frequency, that is k. Okay, so 20 log k, that means 0.75 by j omega here. This is the magnitude part. However, here the omega is omega L, that means 0.5 radians per second, omega lower. So 0.75 by 0.5, substitute here and simplify, you will get the magnitude as 3.5 dB. So magnitude is calculated and represented with capital A, that is at omega L. Similarly, you calculate for omega C1 also. So for omega C1 also 20 log 0.75 by j omega. However, here the omega value is omega C1. Omega C1 is 5, so 0.7 by 5. So we will get minus 16.5 dB. So for we are having two corner frequencies and two considered omega. So out of 4, first two omega values will have 20 log k as the formula. Remaining 2 will have this formula. In this formula, the change in slope from omega C1 to omega C2 into log omega C2 by omega C1 plus previous gain. So the change in slope from omega C1 to omega C2, this can be taken from this table 1. You can see that this is the change in slope. So take this change in slope, substitute here, which is 0. So 0 into log omega C2 value is 10, omega C1 value is 5. However, 0 into anything will be 0. And gain, previous gain is minus 16.5. So substitute the previous gain and calculate, we will get minus 16.5 dB is the gain or the magnitude at omega is equal to omega C2. And omega is equal to omega h, the change in slope. So look at the table 1 here, the change in slope is minus 40. So minus 40 into log omega h by omega C2. That means omega h we have considered as 20, omega C2 is 10. So substitute here 20 by 10. So minus 40 log 20 by 10. Here the previous gain we have got is minus 16.5 dB. So substitute here. So we will get the resultant value as minus 28 dB at omega is equal to omega h. So these 4 gains are used to plot the magnitude graph. In the Bode plot, 2 graphs will be there, magnitude plot and phase plot. So step 2 and step 3 will be useful to draw the magnitude plot. Now the step 4 will be used to draw the phase plot. And here this step 4, the phase can be calculated as this formula. You can see here. The formula is based on the given parameter, the given open loop transfer function. See here in this transfer function, the denominator, the j omega determines the angle as minus 90, and the tan inverse 0.2 is the positive value that can be taken from the numerator. So this is numerator, that's why this tan inverse 0.2 is having positive. So minus 90 is there, so this minus 90 is for j omega. J represents 90 degrees, which is in the denominator. So that's why minus 90 we have to take. And similarly, for the third term, we will use this quadratic expression. You can see this quadratic expression. This is a constant value, and this is a j term, means complex representation. So that's why we will use y by x. Generally, the format will be r plus j x, right? So tan inverse of x by r we need to write. That's why 0.16 by 1 minus 0.01 omega square. So using this, we can calculate the phase angle. So table 2 will help us to calculate the phase angle. You can see we have 4 different omegas. One is 0.5 radians per second, which is omega L. Second one is 5. Third one is 10. And the fourth one is 20. Because omega H is 20, omega C2 is 10, omega C1 is 5. But we need to remember that the phase plot is drawn with the smooth curve, smooth hand. That's why we have to take more number of points. That's why extra omega terms or the extra frequencies has been considered, and these frequencies are 1, 50 and 100. These points also considered extra for having better curve. Now you can calculate this 5 by calculating all these terms. So calculate all these terms. However, in the theory, we have seen that when the tan inverse angle is greater than 90, if we get the angle greater than 90, that means we will get the negative values. Up to here, it is okay. From this point, the tan inverse angles are coming negative. So what we have to do is, we simply add 180 degree for that negative angle. For that negative angle, we need to add 180 degree. So calculate all the 5 values and substitute in the graph sheet. So you can plot the graph